Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Drop the Mic here on the Fins Tailgate. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody that got here early in the comments. EM, Nicole, Ice Cold, Kohler, Marino's great. Estefan, thanks for joining in. Spurs still suck. That's for you too, EM. What up, Scott? What up, John? Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in. If you haven't done it already, go over there and do it real quick. Tell your friends to subscribe, y'all. We're so damn close to 1,000 subscribers. We're getting right there, man. And remember, every Tuesday we got Talk 7 with that TMI Tuesdays with color commentary at 9 p.m. Directly after that, you'll find me with open mic. And then on Saturdays, which is tonight, you get Drop the Mic with myself, Mike on the mic. And then you can catch color commentary on Thursdays. And as always, you can catch El Capitan on the Fins Tailgate. It is the tailgate party that never stops. Make sure if you feel the need to, or you feel the desire to donate to the channel, Cash App and Venmo. It's in the description. There it is. I always talk too much for him to think I'm done. But thanks, Chris, in the back for running the show as always. I'm going to bring Color on here in a minute. We're going to talk a little baseball at the beginning, just some of the bigger free agent signings, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the big trade that went down in the NFL, and then I'm going to try to give everybody some hope for this upcoming season. Woke up with a new perspective and a new feeling of peace. And, and if I'm wrong, then I revert back to where the Barnum and Bailey circus. But if I'm right, then maybe we can all have some more hope for this next season. But without further ado, I'm going to bring on Kohler. Everybody say, what's up? What up, dude?
How's it going, everybody? Sorry, I was just finishing up my dinner. I'm done.
Hey, it works. So, Kohler, I want to bring you on to talk some baseball because we're the two biggest baseball guys here at the Fins Tailgate. Man, let
me pull up my Cardinals page real quick.
I was going to say the movement's been incredible, but I was going to say the only person I saw that y'all signed is Steven Matz. Been kind of quiet over there in St. Louis.
We always are. You know how we roll.
You did get Corey Dickerson.
We usually rely on a lot of the call-ups and
well,
farm system and all that.
Miami did sign Jorge Soler today, so that was a good pickup for them.
Good pickup.
The Carlos Correa going to freaking Minnesota, bro, for $305.
Well, at least we ain't got to worry about him.
Yeah, but I just can't believe he chose Minnesota. The Yankees are sitting there going, what's left? And then there's a rumor, I have it on a good source, from a good source, that Texas is the mystery team for Trevor Story. And if for some reason we're able to coax him into coming home to Texas, we got 3 of the top 4 shortstops that are on the market, and we signed them all in one off season.
Did you get Arenado off us or something?
No, we got Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, and then we get Trevor Story. Trevor Story will play third until Josh Jung comes back next year after his injury, and then he'll transition to the outfield. But the movement has been fierce. Freddie Freeman ended up on the Dodgers. Oakland once again blowing their team up. Trading away Matt Olson, Matt Chapman. They're shopping Manaea. They're shopping their other stud young guy.
You mean all the guys that get on base? Oakland's getting rid of them?
Oakland's getting rid of the whole damn team, bro. It's embarrassing. They do it every 5 or 7 years.
Mike, why do they win?
Oakland
wins? Tell us why Oakland wins.
Money
because wait, because they get on base.
Hey. But
that was my shout out to old Billy Bean out there.
Hey, yeah, man, I love that movie too. If y'all haven't seen it yet, go check it out with Brad Pitt.
Is he he's still their functioning general manager?
Mm-hmm.
So I understand. That's awesome. That's amazing to have a movie made
about
still have that guy still in your career.
Yep. And they still have that guy. They got from Boston, the analytics guy. He's still on the team too. But man, I'm just spring training started. I get to see baseball again. I'm super excited. It's my favorite sport. Not my most natural to talk about. I can talk about baseball, but it was my first love in life. And then after that, it's football, and then it's NBA. But it's just so nice that we're going to get a full 162 game season. And some of the movement that's been going on has been the landscape of Atlanta. Atlanta's bullpen color. They signed Kenley Jansen. They have one of the studliest bullpens I've ever seen, bro. It's absolutely incredible. And then they, the ability for Atlanta to spend the money after letting Freddie Freeman go, make the trades they needed to do, sign the extension. It shows that they moved off of their star. Yeah, they let him go home to Los Angeles, but then they're not giving up. They're not throwing in the towel. They still have Ronald Acuna Jr. They still have Ozzie Albies. Like they're going to be fun to watch again this year.
And let's face it, it's not like the Cardinals giving up Pujols or nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm. 1 second, I gotta yell at my kid. But you know, I'm really excited. Will Atlanta repeat? I don't know, because personally, I think the Dodgers have an offense that could set every conceivable record on offense.
They seem to have that every year, don't they? It's like, what,
man, but this year, man, they have Freddie, but they got Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. They have Max Muncy. They've got Corey. I mean, not Corey. What's his name? The right fielder, Bellinger, Cody Bellinger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go down the list. I can't. Every guy I'm gonna name off is an all-star. that is the most wicked lineup I've ever seen. Jose Ramirez.
Did I hear something about Chris Bryant joining Harper in Philadelphia?
No, Chris Bryant went to Colorado.
Oh, okay.
And that move befuddled Nick Castellanos went to Philly. But that move befuddled me. Chris Bryant going to Colorado, because Colorado over the last 5 years has traded away Nolan Arenado. They traded away Trevor, or they let Trevor Story walk. And they let him walk because supposedly they didn't have the money. Well, then they go give 7 for $162 or $184 million to Chris Bryant, who isn't on the same level as the guys you let go. So I like Chris Bryant. I like his offensive ability. I like that he can play in the infield and he can play in the outfield. He's above average defender in left field, but just to let Nolan Arenado go, or to trade Nolan Arenado like they did, then to let Trevor Story walk, it just made no sense to me. That was probably the most.
Trevor Story is a little more confusing, but as far as like, is there a skill that Bryant has? Like, is there a part of his game that is good so that he is, kind of made for Colorado? I mean, we all know he can hit the ball.
Yep. And he's probably gonna get 35 to 40 home runs.
Well, I was gonna say he's a contact hitter, and in Colorado that could literally be a home run champion. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, all you got to do is look at the ball and it leaves the stadium.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of like when you punt there too,
Hey, listen to you throwing shots, Matt Ariza. But real quick, Kohler, why don't you share why you love baseball and how you became a Cardinals fan? And I got to go check on my kid really quick. So give that story and I'll be right back.
Sure. Well, I'll start with saying that football is my first love. I've never really was a fan of watching baseball on TV. We all kind of know why. Tends to be a little dull and slow and whatever you want to say. So I was actually hoping that they would strike a little longer, because I don't like 162 game seasons. I think it's I like our games to mean something, coming from the football world. But I moved to St. Louis about 10 years ago, 11 years ago or so, decade ago, and looking for better opportunity. And I found it, got, wrapped up with a decent company, and, it really kind of made a life change going up there. And it's, they had
John, the Marlins got Jorge Soler.
Yeah. Jorge Soler. Yep. Good pickup too, especially for Marlins, with how they kind of like to not pick anybody up. But, so yeah, I mean, in the first couple years I was there, they were literally going through the loss of the Rams and the move of the Rams over to LA. And, it was hard enough to get any kind of football talk at all. And that kind of sealed the deal. But baseball is the people in St. Louis are very, very passionate about their baseball and their baseball team. And it's a very, long storied historical team. And so I saw a lot of correlations between the Dolphins and the St. Louis Cardinals as far as what they mean to their leagues and, and whatever else. But another thing too is just to speak on the Marlins real quick. In my 40s and spent most of my life without the Marlins. I mean, we didn't have the Marlins until the early 90s.
Yep.
And so it
Bud
was either
Rodriguez.
right, and so it was either become a Braves fan or pick another team altogether. And being that
Gotta
I'm
get
a
the Braves early.
Hurricanes fan and that the sound of that tomahawk chop from Florida State makes my ears cringe, I could never see myself being a Braves fan. So,
Man, they just used to be so dominant, bro. But I love
mhm,
John Smoltz, Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux. Those
Maddox,
teams
all
were
them
Chipper
guys, yeah,
Jones, Andrew
yeah.
Jones. Like, man, those teams are so much fun.
Yep. So while I'm up in Missouri and trying to find ways to relate to the people there and all that, I don't hate baseball. And it's very easy to go to a live game there. It's kind of what everybody does. So I know that I used to watch every once in a while to hit a game up of the West Palm Expos. And so I have experienced live baseball before, and I know that it's a different experience and a lot more fun than watching it on TV. So I decided, um, back on the Marlins real quick. Um, when I was a kid, I was real enamored with Ozzie Smith. So I was kind of like not into baseball per se. I never wanted to call myself a St. Louis Cardinals fan, but that's who I enjoyed watching in the postseason. You know what I mean? And I used
Yeah.
to love watching great shortstop highlights and stuff like that. So being a fish out of water, pun intended, I decided I'd become a Cardinals fan or at least follow the team and see what happens.
Yeah.
And another reason too is that we had like two Hurricanes on the Cardinals squad when I first moved there, and so that was an easy pickup too.
Yeah.
Well, this was in 2011. That was the first season that I said, okay, I'm going to follow all 162 games. Maybe not watch them all, but follow them all because you get it on the radio every night. And
Yep.
I was
Yep.
at a job capacity that required a lot of driving, so it was a great thing to throw on. And when you're talking about good baseball, like from good teams and even postseason baseball, it actually does have quite a bit of entertainment, like drama, strategy, and I guess it just takes you a guy like me. I know that it's like you're either a little kid and you love it, or you're an old man and you love it. It seems like nobody in between really loves baseball. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
no, it's not for non-diehards. It's that same way with
right,
hockey.
right. It's either you
You
don't
either
know
love
what
it or
you're
you don't
looking
love it.
at, and everybody's having
Yep.
fun because somebody hit a home run, and you're a kid and you idolize the players, or you're an old man and you're like, wow, man on base, and this and that and the other, and the strategy involved, and you can actually feel,
Exactly.
the what would you say, the drama is like palpable right out of the TV when you're talking
Oh
about
yeah.
good baseball.
Oh, playoff baseball, game 7, bottom of the ninth, 2 men on, 2 out. Oh, bro.
Or
Like
even when you get to like the middle of the season with the contending
yeah.
teams, where
Yep.
even on a regular night they're making decisions based on, hey, we kind
Yep.
of need to win this. You know what I mean?
Man,
uh
so I'm gonna give one more story about baseball, then we're gonna move on. But so I'm a Texas Ranger
Oh,
fan,
well,
obviously.
real
But
quick, Mike.
yeah, yeah.
That year, the first year I followed them all the way through, they won the World Series.
Hey,
So
that's an easy way to fall in love with the
I'm
team.
like, I mean, I'm a Dolphins fan and I'm a Cardinals fan. You root
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
best. You know what I
yep.
mean? In
So
organization in every league, and also John Jay, my favorite baseball player.
oh yeah, I really liked him. He was
Go
he was
ahead.
a phenomenal player. But he never got to the pinnacle of baseball, but he was really fun to watch. I love John Jay. But so in 2010, you're talking about the atmosphere in St. Louis and Yankees, Boston, Dodgers, Braves, the big names, the Cubs, the White Sox, the Orioles. The atmosphere is intense. Well, at this point in 2010, I'm a lifer. I've been a Rangers fan forever, but we never had a true baseball crowd. We never had a true baseball fan base. It was more we were the team was winning, so it was cool to go, and it's going to a baseball game, and people like going to baseball games. So, but we traded for Cliff Lee, and I don't know if you remember that year we swooped in and took Cliff Lee from the Yankees. We literally snatched him from underneath the rug because it was reported on every TV that he had been traded to the Yankees, and all of a sudden, not 10 minutes later, it was a stunning turn of events. Cliff Lee has now been traded to the Texas Rangers. Well, it was we had already had the division wrapped up. It was like it was the last series of the year before the playoffs. And it was the bottom of the 8th. And we weren't used to seeing our starters come back out for the 8th inning at this point in time. and it had been a while since Kenny Rogers, so we really just weren't used to it. But I'll never forget, and I'm literally getting goosebumps thinking about it still to this day. I'll never forget when I'm looking down, and then I realized, man, it's really loud in here, but like, man, this is in between innings. What's going on? And everybody was giving Cliff Lee a standing ovation, hoping and praying that he was going to come back out of the dugout. Came out of the dugout, and the stadium erupted for a completely meaningless game. But it was so electric that I almost brought tears to my eyes. I was like, man, I've been waiting for 20 years for Texas baseball fans to recognize the beauty of baseball and to truly appreciate it. And man, that was one of my favorite times ever, was just see. And I got to go to the World Series game against the Giants that year. We weren't supposed to be there. We did get to beat the Yankees to get in. A-Rod struck out by Neftali Feliz, which was glorious because, if you know baseball, A-Rod completely royally screwed the Rangers. And so it was bittersweet that we finally got over the hump of the Yankees. And then we went to the World Series, and Nelson Cruz had that walk-off grand slam against Detroit. Phenomenal run. But we lost, and I didn't care. And then Giants fans were so cool. They were so pleasant. Like they weren't rubbing it in our face. They weren't like making fun. They were like, man, y'all a hell of a team. We love your stadium. We love your fans, blah, blah. And so it was awesome. Well, then we went back, and the rest is history. We'll talk. I still haven't pulled that sword out of my heart. I don't know if I ever will. We'll talk about that on another show. Maybe
that's sitting on the grass in the form of a baseball at mid outfield in St. Louis.
All I know is I've never been as heartbroken.
Game 7?
Game 6. Game 7 didn't matter. Game 6 is where my heart was. Oh my God. For those of you who don't know,
with the plop down on the grass from David Freese.
Neftali had 8 pitches to throw a fucking third strike, excuse my French, and Nelson Cruz completely misplayed a ball, but Ron Washington pinch hit Esteban Herman in that game. Like, there were so many moves. I was like,
wasn't there one game where you guys you could seal it up by catching a pop fly and the guy dropped it? Dude, if I remember correctly, one of those games.
Yes, it was Nelson Cruz. It was Lance Berkman hit a fly ball to right field. Nelson Cruz misplayed it. Y'all won the game. But it goes back to the 10th inning. Josh Hamilton's groin muscle is detached from the bone. And he goes out there and he hits a home run to put us up by 2 runs. And I was like, oh, we're going to do it. I was flipping out because Neftali Feliz hadn't blown a save in the playoffs. Like, everything was leading towards it. And then Nelson Cruz is like, oh, man, the ball's over there. Damn. And so anyways, but we'll talk about this on data. And John says we're loaded this year. We have a good offense. Our pitchers are still 2023. I want 500 ball in Texas. And I think Miami would be happy with 500 ball for Marlins too. But I just want we signed guys that fit the mold of what we want finally. And for those who don't know, the Rangers might touch 700 million spent this offseason, which is 203 million more than any team's ever spent in an offseason. It's completely ass backwards from what they normally do. I have no idea what finally got them to open their pocketbooks, but the Rangers spent some money and brought in really like Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, the first 2 signings of the offseason. And I was like, holy crap, because I knew Seager was on the board, but when they brought Semien in, I was like, okay, well, they're going for it. Then they go out and they're in the running for Trevor Story. They went out and they got another, oh man, I forgot his name. He used to kill me. He was on the Angels, the right fielder, Cole Calhoun. They got Cole Calhoun for a position spot. They signed John Gray from the Rockies. But they've made some moves to now that there's 6 playoff teams in each league. They feasibly could sneak into that 6th playoff spot, but I just want 500 baseball in Texas. And then, but if they do get Trevor Story, our offense is freaking loaded at that point. But they're also talking about Michael Conforto. But when we get Jack Leiter, Cole Winn, Cole Reagans, Owen White, Ricky Vanasco, we've got arms in the minors right now that are absolutely studly. And Jack Leiter, y'all just remember the name. Jack Leiter is going to blow everybody away, just like his dad did. He doesn't have the cutter that Al Leiter had, but man, Jack Leiter throws all 5 pitches for strikes and they all move. But all right, enough about baseball.
Well, real quick. I was gonna say one more thing about the game. Oh gosh, I can't remember. That David Freese home run, that was Joe Buck on the call.
Yep.
If you remember correctly, wasn't it?
Yep.
And we will see you tomorrow night.
Hey, and then what pissed me off is like we came out in that first inning. Ian Kinsler gets on, still second, scores a run. I was like, oh, we're up 1-0. Maybe we're gonna do it. But what's crazy, Kohler, is I was working right next to the ballpark in Arlington, and we were packed house. Buffalo Wild Wings. My beard was bleached white and then dyed Ranger blue. My head was dyed Ranger red. And I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings, but I worked Game 7, and the electricity in that building for Game 6 was second to none. I've never experienced anything like that. But the Game 7, even when Kinsler got the base hit, even after he stole the base and scored a run in the first inning, nobody got out of their seat. Nobody cheered. Nope. We all knew we were losing that game. Like there was no way around it. We were going to lose. And there was literally no faith that we were going to win that game. It was unbelievable. But this is the same game. This is the same series where Derek Holland, the night after Albert Pujols hit 4 home runs, Derek Holland goes out and does a 9-inning shutout against Albert Pujols, holds him 0-for-4. Like it was storybook.
I'm glad Chris brought that comment up because I was actually going to address that. How you doing tonight, Isaac? By the way, good to see you. You can thank Cardinals for Mr. Arozarena.
Yes, you can.
He's one of ours.
Yeah, well, they also have Wander Franco up there too, and that boy's a freaking stud. He got like a 7-year I think he got a 12-year contract, and he was 20 years old. It's like wow. This is stupid. But so. On to football. I could talk baseball for hours, literally for hours, but some major things have happened and haven't happened in the NFL. And we all know what the major trade was, but I'm going to spin it from this perspective, and it has nothing to do with the Miami Dolphins. I just witnessed, and this is my opinion, so I'm not going to say we. I just witnessed the biggest FU to a team by a player on the way out in any sport I've ever seen. And the only thing close to it was when Alex Rodriguez did Texas dirty. The packages that were said to be available, some of the young guys, AJ Terrell from Atlanta, I'm sure the Saints included their one of their stud defensive guys, and probably included Alvin Kamara to get that off their whatever. The packages that were on the table from the other 3 teams, Carolina, New Orleans, and Atlanta, had cornerstone pieces during a rebuild that you won't find in the draft unless you have a top 10 pick. So then all the people are saying, well, they got 3 firsts. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. But he chose 3 firsts from a playoff team. Now with him means that pick is going to be bottom third of maybe even the bottom quarter of the first round. So you've got to pick from 25 to 32. And so you got 3 bottom of the first, a third, and a fourth. They got nothing as far as rebuilding pieces. Now, yes, you can package the first round picks and maybe move up. But in essence, Deshaun Watson, he took the money and he said, and y'all get trash for me. I've given you everything I have. You wanted to hold me ransom. I'm holding you ransom. And you thought I was going to take Atlanta, but joke's on you. I'm going to go take 5 years, 230 guaranteed, and leave you with nothing on the way out.
Turns out it was all about the money all along for Deshaun. It had nothing to do with what the Texans could get because, like we've been saying, Deshaun had all the leverage. The Texans had zero leverage.
Yep. And the thing that like, okay, so the other packages, they could have held pat and not blown it up. But because of the package of picks they got, I don't think Houston has any choice but to blow it up now, unless Davis Mills shows before the trade deadline that he can be an above average quarterback. And I'm not going to take away from him.
They're rolling 100% with Davis Mills. So
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But if they start out 1-6, they're going to blow it up. And there's going to be guys like Laramie Tunsil available. There's going to be guys like Brandon.
I see what you're saying, like a mid-season blow up. Yeah,
because they don't have. He left them with nothing. They don't have a receiver other than Brandon Cooks, who's at the tail end of his career, prime in his career. They don't have a running back. They don't have a tight end. They don't have linebackers. They don't have defensive line. They don't have cornerbacks. They don't have safeties. They don't have anything left, and except for Laramie Tunsil, and that's about it. And if they had gotten an AJ Terrell, or if they had gotten a 26 and younger player, 2 of them packaged with the picks, even a veteran at 30 and a 26-year-old with the picks, then I would have seen them not blowing it up. But at this point, if they stumble out of the gates, Houston has no choice but to completely blow it up and do worse than the Miami did in 2018 or 2019, whenever we were tanking. They're going to have to do worse than that. They're going to have to go get guys from Walmart instead of Home Depot, guys that can't lift anything, and put them out there and watch the clown show that goes on. They may, if Davis Mills doesn't work out, they are going to be one of the ugliest teams as far as watchability that we've seen in years. And, you know, I say all this, and I know I may be sounding sympathetic for Houston, but I'm not. They deserve every bit of what they didn't receive. They deserve what Deshaun Watson did to them because of how they've run that organization since Bill O'Brien, before Bill O'Brien, never really putting the right talent on the field, making trades like they did for with Laramie Tunsil.
And let's not forget for all the people out there that may be a little, in their feels over what Deshaun is being accused of. Let's not forget that the Texans had no intention of exposing that to the public had it not been for Deshaun wanting to leave Houston.
Yep.
So there's no sympathy. There should be no sympathy or empathy for the Houston Texans, as far as I'm concerned.
None.
I mean, if we're going to go on those lines, you know what I mean? Let's do it. They're the ones that held back the information. They're the ones that put these females in danger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that too. And I love the the fool me once, fool me twice that Watson did. Is everything led to him taking the Atlanta deal. Kyle Pitts even thought he was going to Atlanta, and everybody thought it was down to Atlanta and New Orleans. And then out of nowhere, I
do want to address the 1,000-pound gorilla in the room, though.
What's that?
Will Fuller.
Oh, he's going. Dude, he's already attached to Cleveland. He's gonna be signed for a 2-year deal. It's what he wanted all along.
So how many objective YouTubers out there now are owed an apology for vindication? Because we know why Fuller was here. Let's not imagine that and pretend anymore, okay? And I'm only saying this to say that there's not just one man responsible for whether you think it's right for him to be or not, but there's only one man. There's more than one man responsible for Tua's psychological imbalance over the last couple seasons. I'm just saying that. And what Will Fuller is doing right now is the absolute anecdotal proof of that.
Yep. Well, I think it was all along. He thought Watson was coming. I think
we built this team for Deshaun Watson. That's just all there is to it. Our speed defense, they can't be on the field for too long.
God.
You know what I mean?
God, what are you doing, dude?
I mean, well, there is the argument. I saw that come across Twitter today too. It's like people are giving Brissett a hard time, man. But it's like, wait a minute. All of a sudden, our offensive line was good when he was behind center. I don't get it. See, I'm willing to say Brissett sucks because I'm not willing to throw the offensive line under the bus. You know what I mean? But if we're going to do that, and that's where we're at right now, then he played behind the same offensive line. Give him a freaking shout out. He's a Florida boy. Freaking Palm Beach Gardens. Wish him well already. God.
If this happened, literally, if this happened right here and Jakeem Grant goes to the Pro Bowl, I'm going to lose my mother effing mind, bro.
Well, even if he did go to the Pro Bowl, he wouldn't be able to catch the flight.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's funny. Shots fired. Bah, 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 bah.
I don't even know where I pulled that from, bro. That just came out, man. I don't even know. I mean, I'm not a comedian. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, maybe you are. You don't know. Yeah. My wife thinks she's funny and thinks she's a comedian, but I find a hard time laughing.
I'm just a cynical old man, and most comedy is based in cynicism. So it seems like I'm a comedian.
Hey, Vaughn, I won't say the line was good at all last year. I think they got better towards the end of the year, but yeah, I mean, Brissett does suck, but the offensive line had a lot.
No, they weren't, Vaughn. That's precisely what I'm trying to say. They weren't good, which is why We should lay off Brissett a little
As
bit.
a returner,
He's
John.
a South Florida boy. Wish him well already. Not
Mike
to say I
like the kid we
want
got from Canada. Who's he talking about from Canada? Is that Engel?
Is that Craycraft? Maybe. Oh no. The earlier guy. Everybody's forgotten about him. The guy we picked up from the Canadian League.
Oh, yeah. The quarterback.
No.
Chris Strebler, something like that.
Is his name not Desmond? No, that's
Strebler or something like that. I don't remember.
No, it's a wide receiver.
Oh.
God, I can't remember his name now.
Oh wow.
I want to say it's Deontay something, but let me grab the roster real quick.
Yeah, no worries. Big John, we're not talking basketball, but I'm gonna send you a link here in a minute. Deadman. His name is Deadman. That's
Deadman,
right.
I kept thinking of Desmond because of the quarterback that I think we should take in like the 4th round, you know.
I did forget about him. I know Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati. I got you, Cole. I got you. As long as we take Tyquan Thornton in the 3rd round and you can take Desmond Ridder whenever, I'll be happy with the draft.
No, and to be completely honest, dude. It's really a matter of somebody suggested this the other night that, you know, we should do things like other teams have done, which is just, even if it's blind, you've got to pick in the 5th round. You know, all your other things are taken care of. Just draft a quarterback every single year.
Yeah, and you hit one late in the round. Yeah, you got to find a gem every now and then. You got to at least go mining before you find the diamond.
Because it's not even about Tua. It's about, hey, are we satisfied with our backup? I mean, I might argue that I personally think Teddy might be better than Tua, or at least more experienced, but that doesn't mean I think Teddy's a star or an elite quarterback. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
You know,
hey,
we have to always be vigilant of that.
Cliff, Baker Mayfield is Eric Crouch 2.0, and my point's been proven about that. So he'll never be good in the NFL. I don't know. If we trade for him, I might boycott the Dolphins. I don't know. It'd be hard to root for my team.
Did you see the latest report from Pro Football Network about an hour ago?
Which one?
About Jadeveon?
Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney being attached to. I don't know how. I told Chris on the phone. I don't know how I feel about that because I don't know how much playing. Who's the odd man out at that point?
Well, the quote from PFN was Clowney could come in as an instant contributor while being a veteran presence for 2021 first round draft pick Jalen Phillips, who came in the NFL raw but full of promise.
Caller. All right, I'm going to transition from Watson talk to my gut feeling. This is when I'm trying to spread hope to everybody, okay?
Sure. Yeah, I know you had a major so Mike
epiphany.
has a gut feeling, a hunch about what is actually going on right now behind the scenes. So
yeah, and with the help of Ali in the comments, he wants Matt Ariza, but with the help of Ali, we've been connecting a lot of dots, and you just connected another one. Oh man, dude! Okay, guys, I know
all coming together now, ain't it?
I know we missed out on a superstar quarterback. I get that. I know half the fan base doesn't like Tua. Maybe more than half the fan base doesn't like Tua. I don't know. Or they don't think, it's not that they don't like Tua, but they don't think Tua has it, right? That he's not the superstar that we need. I get all that. I was the same way, and now I'm excited, but I will lose my excitement if nothing happens. But this is why I believe something is happening. So I've heard whispers that we were going after, I'm not going to share the names because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but we're going after some big name wide receivers. They were whispers, and I thought it was just a whisper because I was like, nah, I don't know. But then I started thinking about it, and I started talking to my dad, who, those of y'all that know Bullet Bob, he's been a fan since the 60s, late 60s. But I've never, and he's never seen the Miami Dolphins organization as quiet as they are right now. Every single player we've signed has been a FaceTimed interview or just signing the contract, and that's it. They haven't spoke about any of the players. You haven't seen a single coach get on the podium. You haven't seen Greer. You haven't seen Ross. You haven't seen Garfunkel. You haven't seen anybody. I've never seen Miami this quiet. And here's another thing. These aren't even the dots I've connected. Chris Greer is a pro at making a big splash. And it usually goes a year or two in between the big splashes. Well, he's due for a big splash. Every guy we've signed that was not on the team are role players. Re-signing Ogba was a necessity. Got a team-friendly deal on it. We haven't released anybody. We haven't cut anybody. We haven't traded anybody. We haven't restructured out X.
Smythe wasn't too ridiculously expensive.
So we literally haven't done anything that we were going to do to free up cap space. We haven't signed a big name. People can get okay, and this is where negative Nancy Michael comes out, is people can get as excited as you want about Connor Williams, but I'm letting you know he's not that much better than what we have at the guard position already. He is better than the younger guys like Austin Jackson, maybe Eichenberg, but he's not better than Robert Hunt. And he does have some improvement that has to happen in his game, but he is a Texas boy, so I love him through and through, and I'm happy we got him. I'd be happy.
So can you send me the link to the sundress you're planning to buy? I want to check it out. It might fit. It might fit me well.
Hey, we both need to wear it. So here's the deal. So I think Mike McDaniel went out and got his role players, his guys that fit the holes that we had that he wanted to fill. Fullback, return guy in Craycraft, the Deadman, another speedy wide receiver, one offensive line reinforcement, all this stuff we've been talking about. Maybe they brought all these guys in to not go big on the offensive line, to maybe teach the guys we have. There's a lot of reports out there about that now. But this is when I started connecting the dots. And the first one's a big one. We have the 29th pick in the first round. The combine is great, but pro days, I would argue, are a little more important to seeing what you want out of a prospect that you're thinking about taking. So when you line up guys that are top 20 prospects that are now talked about maybe falling to 29 and they have a pro day, you're going to go see them and see if they're worth taking at 29. Well, though, there's been one team, maybe a few more, but there's been one team that hasn't shown up to a single pro day yet, and it's Mike McDaniel and the Miami Dolphins. They have not gone to see any of the pro days for any of these late first-round picks that are possible. So
I know what you're getting at, but I'll let you finish.
There's one dot that's connected. The second dot you just connected, and I'm sliding it into second, is what if they do go sign Jadeveon Clowney and Ogba is a tradable asset at that point? Okay, so there's that one. Because if they're talking about Jadeveon Clowney is going to be there to help Jalen Phillips excel, well, that's kind of what Ogba's there for, right? In hindsight, that's kind of what he's there to do, is to groom for Jalen Phillips and be that balanced presence on the other side of the line. If they sign a guy like Jadeveon Clowney, well, there's another dot that's connected. But here's the biggest one. If they're not showing up at the pro days and they're not really worried about that 29th pick, then to me, that means they're talking about trading it. It's already included in a proposed package. Here's the next thing that this is where I just have hope. Okay. I think we can all agree Chris Grier is a really smart man. Maybe not making the best decisions to some, but we can all agree he's a really
not very fashionable
person. He's a very intelligent person. They have to be oblivious to the fan base if they don't make a move. And these
indifferent.
But these signings that we've had haven't moved the needle for the fan base. They watched the AFC go Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, and they all ended up being touchdowns. The AFC has gotten incredibly stronger, and Miami hasn't gotten any better. No matter who we've signed, we haven't gotten maybe a win better, which might have gotten us in the playoffs last year, but it's not enough to go anywhere after the first round. Grier isn't this, by all accounts, this is his prove it year. He has to do something or his job is on the line. If Tua doesn't work out, it's Grier's job that's on the line. He's the last scapegoat that Steven.
Oh, no. Which one of us two can you all still hear? Okay. Just as long as I'm not the one that's frozen. I can carry it over. I don't want to speculate on what Mike's getting at. I'll let him finish, but this is getting juicy. So I'll give a couple shout outs. How's it going, CT? Joe Levesque, Ali Da. Glad you guys are here. I saw Miss Finns earlier. John and John, both Johns. Fins up, Nubbins. Good to see you guys. Florida born, Kentucky grown. Glad you're back here tonight, man. LaQuain. Hey, do me a phonetic spelling on your name, LaQuain. Is it LaQuain or Laquan? I don't want to keep pronouncing it wrong. But it's Mike's show tonight, so he's got the controls. I don't really have the controls, but I don't know if he's gonna. I think he usually does anyway. How's it going, Aqua? Carla, you find any gold yet out there, Carla? We're getting close. We might actually find some this year. We all know it's there. It's just a matter of getting it. Mike is like Raul says. Mike is like Greer frozen. Nice. How's it going, Shake Money? How's the show from Thursday going for you? Yeah, appreciate you too, Jason. Come up anytime. We got the link up, man. You're always welcome. And I'm just, I'm glad I got all that off my chest last night. I don't need to do it anymore. Water under the bridge. I'm trying to be more positive a person in general in my life. So we're all having fun here. That's all I want to do. And I'm glad you guys have showed up tonight because, I don't want to push anybody away. Yeah, the suspense is killing me too, Carla. I think I know where he's going with this, but I'm not sure yet. And you're right, Clifty. In 20 years, he hasn't contributed to one playoff win. That's a fact. I mean, in fairness, yeah, I know he's always been in the kind of scouting arena, but in fairness, he's only really had the full control since, 2-3 seasons. Yeah, I know, Ali. You're probably you're sitting there like, hey, evil master, right? Let me ask. I'm pretty sure it won't involve a quarterback. I'm pretty sure at this point, that we're set there, unless it's somebody we've never heard of. I don't really know who's left. And I know, Scott. That's what I'm thinking too. But I don't know who. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're talking about one of these other retreads like Matt Ryan or somebody, there's really nobody left. Not that's going to be worth, a bunch of draft picks and good players. Otherwise, we'd be overpaying at that point. Really? You think Green Bay really? I thought he signed it.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, Mike, quick. Well, I guess we're getting too deep into speculation now as to what you were going to finish saying, but so I'll let you continue.
Yeah, I got on my phone. You won't be able to see my face the rest of the night, but at least I'm on my phone.
For everybody's prediction calculus before you finish, it's to my understanding that Aaron Rodgers actually signed his contract already.
I think so too. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought I saw that reported by Florio.
So what did I leave off on?
You were at I know where it was at. You were at 2 or 3 years. He makes a big splash.
Oh, okay, yeah. So here
it is.
To
that time, right?
Yeah. So here it is. So he sees what's happened in the AFC. He notices the talent level increase all the way across the AFC. He understands that where we were last year wasn't enough to get us there, even if we're fully healthy this year. He understands he has to. He's smart. The front office isn't stupid. Mike McDaniel is a really smart person. All the coaches have been mum. They've literally been silent. They're working. And I think they're working on a deal because in a ball control style offense, if you have more than 2 weapons in the red zone or inside the 30-yard line to make a play, you can win games against the major stud QBs and the high-powered offenses if you run a true ball control offense. So I think, hey, shut up, Big John. But I think that they are going for another big-time weapon. And my theory is that Minnesota is a perfect trade partner
and they have two weapons that I would definitely take on this team, and I would argue would at least get us one playoff win, is what if Greer's working on, because Minnesota came out and said all their stars are movable. They said they're willing to move off their stars at the beginning of the offseason. What if they're making a trade for a Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook pairing? Or what if they're going after a big time weapon on the outside that nobody sees coming, that legitimately keeps the defense from doubling anybody? Now they have three weapons they have to worry about that can go make a play when needed. And if you're running a ball control offense with a defense that can hold hold it down per se and do their job and not let them score too quickly, make them run some time off the clock. If you get beat, cool. Don't get beat the next time, whatever. And you have three legitimate weapons, even with Tua. And I think Tua with three weapons like that, if you have three legitimate, and I'm considering Gesicki a weapon in the red zone because I think he's a definite threat. Ball placement aside, I think he's a definite threat to make a play when it comes in there. But yeah, and I don't think it's Minnesota either. But my point is that what if they're going? There has to be something going on. If they go get a Lyle Collins, if they go get a Terran Armstead, or what if they get both Terran Armstead and Lyle Collins? Then how do you feel? Or what if they get Terran Armstead and JC Treader? Then how are you going to feel? And my point is, I was so worried about this season, especially after all the QB movement, especially when I realized they weren't going after a QB, and some of these signings have been happening. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, this can't be what's going on. This can't be the end of the offseason. This can't be what they go into next season with, because then if they do go in with the roster currently constructed the way it is, without another star or without another true weapon, and without beefing up this O-line, then is it an unintentional tank season? Because we're not going to get out of the first round. I don't care how good Tua does. We're not getting out of the first round with the team currently constructed the way it is, especially with the defensive lines that are in the AFC West alone. I really think Greer has something going on behind the scenes. He's working on a big deal for a big time weapon that can at least maybe, just maybe, get this team a playoff win and say we're hot, and maybe we get 2 playoff wins. I refuse to believe that there's nothing going to happen, because they're not dumb in that front office, and they've been so quiet. They're working on something. And if Greer's job is on the line, I think he's proven that he's not shy about taking a big shot. Maybe not the shots we want him to take, but he's not shy about doing it. And there's something up his sleeve. I gotta believe there's something up his sleeve.
The only thing I would say to the Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson prediction would be that they're more like in a 2-man package deal that could get quite expensive. So I'm thinking that deal would more likely be Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen, which I'm perfectly fine with that too.
I'm cool with that too.
Adam Thielen's a stud wide receiver.
Yep.
He's been kind of,
and he just restructured his deal
slacking,
too.
But that's just because they just picked up Justin Jefferson. Now there's a conflict betwing 2 number ones. You know what I mean?
Thielen just restructured his deal too, and Thielen's a hometown guy. Went to a walk-on tryout and made the team. He's
which case, being that we don't really, not that we don't need a running back, we could always upgrade. But we brought in so many people. We could be looking at a 2-man deal, like a 2-person, bringing 2 playmakers in that are from different teams, like maybe going after somebody like Justin Jefferson, and as Cap just pointed out, DK. We've forgotten about DK. And also, really good, interesting point was somebody, B. George, sitting there, they trading with the Saints for Michael Thomas.
If he's healthy, I wouldn't mind that, but I want
that one actually makes more sense to me than all of them, given what just happened with Deshaun Watson and the fact that New Orleans, I think they were trying to land Watson to keep guys like Michael Thomas happy and there. You know what I mean? So now Michael Thomas has to go with Winston again. Maybe he doesn't like Jameis Winston. You know what I mean?
That's true. I just think you go down the list: DK Metcalf, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Michael Thomas.
Again, there's another
Adam
one.
Thielen.
DK Metcalf is in a spot now where he's going to have to roll with a mediocre quarterback. So
Yep. I just think that
at least you roll with a mediocre one that potentially might not be mediocre. Let's face it, as much as my eye test tells me it ain't happening, the guys that we're comparing the two to right now, like Drew Lock or whoever they're going to Jameis Winston, I'll put him aside, but a few others, these wide receivers might see, okay, I don't really care for the way Tua is playing, but he's only 2 years in.
Ali.
You know, he's only 2 years in, where a guy like Drew Lock is now on what, year number 4?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I don't disagree, and that's where I'm
on
at.
year number 5 or 6, you know what I mean? It's like,
yep.
These guys are going to be like, yeah, maybe we don't trust Tua, but he's the one that's actually got an open ceiling. You see what I'm saying at this point? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I think, you know, don't sleep on Deebo Samuel. Don't sleep on DK Metcalf. Don't sleep on Justin Jefferson or Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook. Don't sleep on Michael Thomas or Alvin Kamara. Don't sleep on some of these guys that.
And again, Deebo Samuel makes sense because why would we be stacking with the running back room so heavily? Because San Francisco didn't. And that's why Deebo was having to play running back.
Big John, our producer, just walked away to be able to drop the link, and I'm on my phone, so I don't have the capability. Otherwise, I totally would right now. But Ali, go ahead and give me your. He's in the comments, so whenever you see it, I'll read it out. But Ali's going to give his prediction, and here's the point, guys. I'm seeing the glass half full, but I'm still expecting the glass to break and all the water just to fall out of it, and we have a really hard time going forward. But if they don't do something drastic, what do we look like the next 10 years? You know, what do we look like the next 10 years?
Ali's saying I nailed his take already.
Deebo Samuel.
Oh, right, because that's why we're stacking the running back room. Because they want to give him a chance to play wide receiver.
But here's the deal, though. we haven't moved off of Gaskin. He
is a good wide receiver still, people. You know, I mean, Deebo is a wide receiver.
So I definitely think. Yeah, I know. JP, you're 100% right. He says Texas's path to the Elite Eight just got a hell of a lot more clear if they beat Purdue. And 100%, that March Madness tournament right now, bro, I have been literally screaming and yelling at my TV for 2 days.
Did I hear correctly that Duke already got eliminated? Oh, come on,
Wait. Did Duke get eliminated?
I don't know, think they did. Damn, this is why I don't ever do brackets, man. It's like, geez, man, Duke, how could Duke not at least make it deep enough to keep my bracket alive?
So what if they do make, like somebody just brought it up in the comments, and it's another good one, is what if they go after Deebo and Kittle?
Now you're talking about a package deal that would shock the world. You know what I mean?
Well, Duke is still in. I thought they were. North Carolina beat the number 1 seed Baylor. St. Peter's took down Kansas. Kentucky. St. Peter's took out Kentucky. But the amount of upsets, I think there's been like 3 12 seeds or higher. Or 3 12 seeds and like 2 15 seeds. JP will tell me if I'm wrong, but the amount of upsets that happened in this first round have been nuts. I don't think there's a perfect bracket left.
Right.
Big John, who's the cheaper option than Deebo? Please enlighten. But I'm serious, guys. Like, y'all have to understand that Greer's job is on the line. He knows it. He's not dumb. He knows that if he doesn't get to an adequate amount of weapons and an adequate amount of protection, that he's lost his job. He's out. He's Stephen Ross's last scapegoat. If this season does not go well, it's all on Greer's head. Period.
And also, real quick, Florida born is your team Louisville or Kentucky or UK? It looks like his team might have already got eliminated. Whoever it is Louisville or UK?
Yeah, well, March. I'm just so excited about March Madness. I'm just so stinking excited because I love.
I mean, I don't know if I already told you, Mike, but my whole thing.
Miami wins it all.
Yeah, it's Miami versus Duke in the final. That's what I got.
That's funny.
Hey, Miami's in the Sweet 16. That's what somebody just said in chat.
Hey, Miami's not bad. But this
not bad. They're the Hurricanes, bro.
Hey,
I don't care if they lose every game they play. They're still the best team in anywhere they are.
Hey, I roll like that too, but it's not the Hurricanes. I roll like that for my Longhorns, baby. So I think Big John's gonna get the link here in a second.
Is it this? Oh, that's the
yes. Yeah. Hook 'em, baby. Hook 'em. That's all it's about.
That's the sign of the devil, man. What are you talking about?
Hey, the Longhorns right now, for the first time in maybe since Durant, they have a team that is built for March. They have a coach whose style is built for March. They have the road ahead of them right now is Purdue, and that's about it to get to the Final Four. So it's going to be a fun, or Elite Eight at least, but it's going to be a fun. It's going to be a fun March. I'm telling you that. Plus, with baseball kicking off, opening day is April 8th. You've got offseason still going on for football. You got the draft coming around next month. There's a lot more movement that's going to happen. All the offensive tackles are going to start going off the board. My bet was today, but I guess it's going to happen tomorrow. But we have a lot more to look forward to in March than we have in a long time with baseball being like it is.
There you go, McGoat. It's the only Duke you root for. That's right.
Hey,
the Hurricane. That's right, the Hurricane.
That's funny. So, but you see about my theory though. You see how the dots are connecting. Like something's going on, Kohler. Something has to be going on.
I'd like to believe it. You know, it all adds up. And I know Greer, like you said, Greer don't normally make moves, but he's on pace. You know, for his pace, it should be. You know,
he's due.
This year, you know what I mean?
He's due. He's due for a big splash. Yes, Aquavision. The Twins are all of a sudden absolutely loaded. They look great. That Central is going to be up for grabs.
I'm just glad I haven't heard anything major out of the NL Central. It looks like everybody's going to submit to the Cardinals again this year.
Hey, you hush your mouth. Nobody needs to submit to a team that owns half of the NL anyways. I mean, other than the Dodgers lately, the Cardinals have been it for 15 years now.
Yeah, but we do it right, though.
Y'all do. I've always said the Cardinals organization is full of players that develop from the time they draft them to the time they get to they don't sign big name free agents. They homegrown everybody, and they're the epitome of what an organization should look like. They are the Yankees of the National League as far as their development. But the Dodgers have turned into the Yankees.
I was going to say, go Memphis Redbirds. Oh, we lost Mike again. Damn AT&T or Verizon or whoever he uses out there in Texas. Probably Verizon. That's right. Oh, FIU. Really? Oh, I think it's that.
Florida International.
All right. Shake money. Small schools don't count because, you know, FIU is kind of in a different league. So, like, you could be an FIU fan and still be a Hurricanes fan, you know?
Yeah. San Fran believes that Debo was a scheme fit with McDaniel with his contract coming due. San Francisco is thinking of moving off of him. There's somebody that's going to end up on this team. If it doesn't happen, then I will gladly admit that I'm wrong, but I'm also going to have a really hard time finding any positivity going into the next season. I don't understand why Ali says Ross keeps trying to take Mike out, so he quit spilling the beans. So funny story about that on the baseball side of things. There was this fix your own. There was this Twitter handle that appeared out of nowhere, and it started dropping bombs and breaking news before the big time people were breaking it. And so I started seeing news popping off, and turns out he was right. And turns out it was the hitting coach's son for the Texas Rangers, and he was telling information that wasn't supposed to be public. And so he got shut down and banned from Twitter. They deleted his handle and everything. It was crazy.
Wow.
No,
by the way, that's the shirt I wear to Thanksgiving dinners.
That's awesome.
It's all I get when I go to Thanksgiving dinners, man, and Christmas dinners. Oh, what's wrong with my computer? The entire family, man, they'd stand in line. You know what I mean?
That's funny. The Ice Cold says, I think Greer is trying to make something happen, but he's getting turned down because of them firing Coach Flo. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I mean, that would be, you know, as much as Houston deserved it, the way they did Flo on the way out, maybe we deserve it. I don't know. Isaac says, breaking news, Miami Dolphins to extend Jesse Davis to 4 years, $400 million.
I thought they broke that. They actually broke that last night, and I thought it was a joke. But then I saw him signing the contract on Twitter today.
Yeah, it was in 2018, though.
Oh, it's an old post. Okay.
He didn't.
Man, you guys are killing me, man.
Oh, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yes, and JP, I think you're right. I think Armstead is now the number one target, and I think Lyle Collins is second. But as I told Ali, I wouldn't be shocked if they got Lyle Collins and Terran Armstead.
That was my original thought as far as a blockbuster, to be able to land both the guys that everybody thinks you're having to choose between.
Yep. I think that would be a genius move too. And honestly, if they still have 30-something million they can free up with restructuring or releasing guys, and they haven't done it yet, and if they need to, they have the money to do it. I would love to see Armstead and Treader. I would love to see Collins and Treader more than Armstead, but we'll get 10 good games out of Armstead. That would be a haul, FM, and it would be a haul that, I mean, I never saw the Rangers in a different sport spending close to $700 million in an offseason either. So
if first Miami, I thought FM was telling you your microphone was sounding echoey or something, like it's a haul mic,
That's funny. No, I'm in the bathroom on the toilet talking.
No, it sounds fine. I just was like, I'm thinking, haul mic. Wait, it sounds all right.
Yes, I think I would be okay with getting. Ali asked if I'd be okay with getting Collins and Armstead and no wide receiver. Yes, because I would go after Tyquan Thornton in the draft. I think he's out of Baylor. He's going to be a star. I may be wrong, but the dude's amazing, talented, crazy good with the ball in his hands, breakaway speed, got route running. I mean, he's got the whole package. John, I'm not
John,
really on the
TMI
bathroom.
Is on Tuesdays. Tonk 7 TMI is on Tuesdays.
Maybe I should start broadcasting from the toilet.
Right. No, maybe Tonk and I will have you on as a guest from the toilet. Like TMI Tuesdays. You know what I mean?
Isaac,
we got Mike on the mic, ladies and gentlemen, live from his throne.
Yeah. Hey, Isaac, I saw that Cincinnati was close to signing Collins, but I still think Collins is using Cincinnati as leverage against Miami. But if Collins' price is shot up like I thought it was going to do and get close to that 18-20 million, because especially for Miami, he's going to be a left tackle here. So he's going to get left tackle money. And if the price went too high, then that's why they may be pivoting to Armstead. But I just wouldn't rule it out. I don't know. Guys, I know Miami hasn't done anything to prove to us that we should trust them. I know that they haven't really held true to their word. But at the same time, this organization is in
the flush cam. We want the flush cam.
But this is a time in this organization, unlike I can remember, where we're teetering on not being mediocre but being bad. And I don't think Stephen Ross wants to leave this organization in a bad spot. And I think Greer is too smart to not do something to at least try to improve our chances and to improve the fan base's outlook on what we're going to do next season. Because every team in the AFC that doesn't have one of the 8 quarterbacks that are studs, they're all looking up going, how do we get there? And it's not, oh, we're one piece away anymore, or we're a couple pieces away. It's, okay, we have to take a monumental leap to get there. And
there is something to be said for the fact that every other year for the last 30 years, we thought we were actually good. Now we actually think we're bad. Maybe we will be good.
Yep. Pam says, I believe the opposite. Ice Cold says, too late for that, Mike. Fins Up says,
Mike,
if maybe I was true about Ross, we would have Watson.
Last time I felt this way was 1990, and I think we went on like an 8-1 run or 6-1 run or something to start the season.
Hey, that would be fun. As long as it's not 1-5.
Well, that's what it's been for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Culminating in 1-7 last year.
Yep.
Everybody forgets that under Gase, we started 1-4 like every single year under him.
Yeah, they definitely haven't earned our trust. I will agree with you.
You know what I think it is, Mike? I think they're like how people think about, trying to be Bill Belichick instead of being themselves. It's like, yeah, first 2 games are extra preseason games. That's how real champions coach, right? And then they forget that the 3rd game they actually have to perform now,
That's
and
funny.
Then by the 4th or 5th game, they're like, oh shit, now we got to make a run.
So Isaac, I was there. He said, if Tua isn't that guy next year, we're going to start another rebuild. And that's where I was as soon as we fired Flores. I said, this is all going to blow up. We're going to be rebuilding in 2023. But I woke up after the whole thing that went down yesterday, I woke up today and I don't feel that way right now. I feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I really do. Like I'm starting to get the Homer feeling that, okay, they're going to go get that one guy that gives me enough confidence to be excited about my team again. Or they're going to make a few more moves that gets me excited. I feel like I'm going to be really excited going into next season. And I don't know why, because I've been expecting a rebuild for 5 months now.
Yeah, and Pamela just said something, or I'm sorry, Shake just said something really funny. Oh, he says, I say if you want patience, go to the hospital.
Yep.
I like that one. I'm gonna
Yep.
steal that one, Shake. If you like
MC
patience,
says
go
it
to
looks
the
really
hospital.
bad right now, and I agree. I mean, it looks right now we are looking up and we're 6 feet underground. The hole hasn't been filled in yet, but it's close.
Wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. And I have to say this again. This will be the third night in a row I've quoted this famous saying. You are what your record says you are.
Hey,
Given that
yes,
we
Carla.
should see some improvement at quarterback, I don't see why we're so pessimistic, to be honest with you.
Right. Fins up Nubbin says, what did I miss that gives you that feeling, Mike? It's my gut. Fins up. I woke up with my gut tells me that there's something else going on. And I started, Ali's been helping me connect dots that just make it seem like there's a big move, a big splash coming. Could be completely wrong. And Carla's, I love Carla saying you finally hit rock bottom, so everything can only go up from here. Isaac says, the only thing is I've been telling that myself every year, and we are here. Joe says, honestly,
Nicole makes a good point too. The AFC just got better, and we stayed the same.
And that's what I'm getting.
Well, while I would normally agree that should change what our record is, we were losing to bad teams last year, so you know what I mean. Like, we just got to beat what's on our plate, and I think we could beat anybody. I mean, if we
Green Rat says it's my indigestion.
But it always comes down to execution for every team.
Yep.
You know, and for us, it's even more important because we're riding on bald tires. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
yep.
Yeah.
Well, oh, this is fun. All right, the comments are awesome. They're on point tonight. What's up with X? Bonnie, that's part of my gut feeling is they haven't done anything with him yet, which they're waiting. They're waiting for something.
And that's funny, Mike. Pamela said so did Barfalo. You know, I've been a Dolphin fan for like, let's see, 45 minus 6 is about 39 years, right?
Okay.
And I've never heard somebody or even thought to make fun of Buffalo by calling them Barfalo.
That's a good nickname for Buffalo. I'm not opposed.
And it's so obvious, like 39 years, and I never thought of that or heard somebody else say it. That's crazy. That's weird.
I know that is a first for me too. I'm not even gonna lie, and I've been a fan since 1986.
It's so obvious, like Barfalo, of course.
New name for Buffalo, baby, Barfalo.
Because when I was growing up, being in the Dan Marino years, watching the Jim Kelly run, they were far worse. Like as far as rivals go and hatred out of me, they were far worse than the Jets or the Patriots ever could be.
Oh, yep.
Now
oh, dude.
It's the Jets,
after Jim Kelly, there was nothing until Josh Allen.
So Pamela says she has nicknames for all of them. What do you call the Jets, Pamela?
The Nuts, the Nets. I don't know.
The Wets, maybe.
Hey,
like wet the bed, you know, the Wets.
Oh, that's funny. So Buffalo added 33-year-old Von Miller for $20 million a year. We added a bunch of young talent, and Buffalo got better than us. Jason, Buffalo was already better than us.
The Jesters, okay, the Jesters. That's.
Hey, I like that.
For us older fashion folk, that actually is pretty funny.
That is pretty funny. Jim Kelly was great in Enter the Dragon.
Okay, now real quick on that note, I can at least admire Jim Kelly because why?
Because he went to Super Bowl 4 times in a row?
No. Come on, Mike. It's obvious.
You could, yeah, no, it's not as obvious as it must be, or I'm just not. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. He went to the U.
He was a Hurricane.
There you go. Of course, that's why you like him.
It ain't no wonder to me that he won the AFC Championship 4 times.
Man, that first Super Bowl
in Miami. What can I say?
Man, that first Super Bowl, 52-17. I will never forget that ass whooping Dallas put on them. Oh my God, it was ugly.
Oh, don't forget the one that San Fran put on Denver, 55-10, like a couple years before that.
Yep. MC says he thinks fans are going to laugh at us instead of boo us. Dang.
Well, they have to because we got a Duke on our team, so any boos would just be misconstrued as chance for Duke anyway.
Isaac says trade X to Philly for Slay and our pick back. I don't like that. Not a bad idea, but I don't want our pick back. I want a player. I want a weapon. And as far as trading up, I'd be absolutely furious if they traded up in the draft, unless they were going to get a Zion Johnson or a Tyler Linderbaum. Because to move up to get a guy that can legitimately and tangibly contribute this year, you're going to have to get to the top 15 or 16 picks, and that's going to cost a boatload to go from 29 to 16.
Wait a minute. Ali says that's shots fired at him. What part of what I said?
Uh-oh.
Oh, he might be like Seminoles or Gators or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, Drake London will be gone by 29. You're right, John. I'm actually eager to see if Breece Hall is drafted in the top 20. I think he's the only running back worth it. I don't know. I just don't think I'd rather us trade down or just trade that pick for somebody for a weapon they can use now. Bills were Dolphins daddy with Kelly, just like Josh now.
Yeah, and Ali, I think it was meaning Duke Johnson fan. Is that what you're saying? If so, I wasn't meaning that they would be booing and that would be construed as a chant for Duke. I meant that with names like Duke, the crowd says Duke and it sounds sort of like booing. So if they were actually booing, nobody would realize they were booing. You know what I mean?
Unless he's not on the team.
Right.
Yeah.
Which we re-signed him, so he's all right.
Well, we had Shinshu Chu in Texas, the Texas Rangers, and we used to do that all the time. True.
Right. Or now they got Fryermuth in Pittsburgh. Muth, that kind of thing.
Yep. Ali says he missed it. His bad. He missed it. Well, is there anything else that interesting that you kind of haven't got to talk about or that you want to bring up?
No, other than what Nicole just did. Canes are looking up.
Hey,
we're stacking.
How about this?
We weren't supposed to be. That's why I'm excited about it. We were supposed to be like giving up on the football program last I heard. So I'm pretty happy with what's going on down at the UM. Isaac,
if they are able to do that tomfoolery and trade X for Slay and Devontae Smith in a third, I'm signing me up, Bubba. Devontae Smith was my target I wanted in the draft the whole time until last week when I moved on to Waddle.
You think Philly
Devontae Smith's the next great route runner in this NFL?
Yeah, they want to roll with it. Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't trading him. I would love it, but they ain't trading him. Yeah, I don't know, Big John, but we about to wrap this up if Chris don't get back too soon. Maybe you want to text him, caller, or give him a shout, see if he can come let Big John in.
Sure.
I just can't drop a link right now. I'm already in my email, so I can't put the link in the chat. But I really don't want to. I just want Big John to come on real quick. I got to give him some time to make fun of me and my farmer porn because he loves that I'm farmer porn Mike on the mic now. He even gave me a shout out on Alex Dono's show. He he said he changed his name to Farmer's Porn Mike on the mic. Oh, that joke's never gonna die. Thank you, Big John, for making that always. Hate will stop at second TD. Multiple choices in late rounds for us. For Pamela, Shake Money, Pam. Nobody boo next to you. They use leaf blowers. They just use leaf blowers. And then Scummy says Greer's just tanking for Arch Manning in 4 years. Have patience. Oh my goodness, I cannot even imagine. But so are you? How much is too much for Lyle Collins, Kohler? Per year, AAV.
I mean, It's hard to say. Is he this guy that didn't really want to play in Dallas?
Yeah, he's the guy that tried to bribe a person that was supposed to drug test him. He tried to bribe him because he was an hour late to the drug test, and he got suspended. And then he tried to appeal it, and Dallas got mad at him.
Bring him on. I like him. No money's too much.
B. George says 12 million. Yeah, I think he's going to. I realistically think he's going to get.
He can come down. I'll roll him a doob. You know what I mean? We could talk about how to pass piss tests. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's how we roll with the Fins tailgate.
We'll get number 34 in the room. You know, have a big kumbaya. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Fix each other's dreads. You know.
Hey. Get Ricky Williams back. He probably still play.
No, I just want to smoke his weed.
Oh man. Did you see Mike Tyson released edibles in the shape of an ear?
Oh, come on.
I'm not even joking.
He morbid, released edibles. Dude. That is morbid.
And the number one comment that made me laugh the hardest was, do you think Evander Holyfield got any credit for those gummies?
Royalties, right? Hey, it'd be funny if they actually took the mold of Evander Holyfield's ear. You know? Carla, really Evander Holyfield ears.
Carla, Blue Dream is great, but Wi-Fi's better. You got to find it. It's called Whitefire OG.
Yeah. By the way, Pam, the dreads are kind of out of the mix for me. You're right. I ain't growing enough hair to ever have dreads again.
Color, are you saying you're old?
No, just olding.
Yeah, so you're seasoned. So you're starting to have some of the fats falling off the meat at this point.
Yeah, I'm oldish.
Oh man. Are you a fan of if they only bring in one tackle, or is that not going to be enough for you?
I mean, always more is the merrier, but because I'm a big fan of depth on the offensive line. I think that's been our biggest problem throughout the past couple of years. Long time. So I'm not out of favor of it, but I don't necessarily think it's needed.
Nicole says maybe if every AFC team sends one great player, we have a chance. 2 would be a miracle. I agree, but I'm just trying to be.
And I'm not calling. I mean,
I want JC Treader.
We have to be careful with our words as fans.
Yes, Aqua. I'm in a fantasy draft right now.
I'm not calling for anybody to get injured. I'm just saying, everybody's all like, look at the AFC, how stacked it is. The last time we all made a big deal out of a bunch of quarterbacks being in the same spot, like half of them got injured that year.
Pamela, I love that. I do agree with you.
Marketing.
And Alex, you shut your mouth. But Pamela, I do agree. I think the offensive coaches we brought in definitely upgrades the O-line. But I still think we might need a little bit more talent. But
real quick, John R. No, I'm not old as dirt. I'm so old that we watched dirt get invented.
Oh, Aqua, Kohler and I are avid fantasy football players. I'm actually doing a dynasty draft right now. I took Najee Harris. It's a 14-team league, PPR 2 QB. I took Najee Harris at 110, came back around, took Swift, and then I had the 10th pick in the 3rd round. Well, Jalen Waddle went 3-3, so I traded the 10th pick, a 5th round pick, and next year's 2nd round pick, and got Waddle in the 3rd round. So I have Waddle, Swift, and Najee Harris as my 3 guys so far.
And just to be clear, I generally go more of the daily stuff. I have done full season leagues, so I can certainly give advice because I've done one full fantasy league, like full year season league one time, and I won my championship. So it was so lack of challenging to me that I stopped. I never did it again.
Yeah, because you played with a bunch of newbies.
I must have.
Because
keep in mind that, but see, Mike, I was 8-5.
Yeah,
my record was 8-5, and I got into the playoffs and won the bowl. You know what I mean?
Well, and then I've this last year, I started out 1-4 and ended up facing my wife in the championship.
Yeah, well, because and 8-5, it's like that might suck, but you got it's just like anything else. There's only so much you can do when waiver wire is the way it is, and the other people in your league have the players you want and whatever else you have to kind of, and I'll throw a couple names out there of players that helped me win that year. Quan Alexander. That's why I'm a big Quan Alexander fan. Drew Brees, and none other, the man who won me my championship in the NFC playoff game, because that's how fantasy, the postseason for fantasy is the playoff games, right?
Yes, Mark. Yeah, Mark, you've been saying that. I got to go watch that commercial because if you think I sound like him, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, and it was none other than Nick Foles that won me my championship. So you're never going to tell me Nick Foles ain't a good quarterback.
So I just got a message saying that we may have news late tonight or tomorrow. I'll get more info if I'm still on the show. I'll share it. Jason said something I want to get to. It's a 2-part comment. He said, "We tore our team down to the studs. We will add a few pieces, but we're not adding old big contracts. It sucks because we've been waiting forever, but we're in the middle of a build, so it takes time." And right before that, he had said, "I know we've been through a lot as fans, but we're building a young team, and we have blocks in place on both sides of the ball. We're trying to see if these guys can get better with better coaching." I'm right there with you, bro. And on the fantasy, y'all got to understand, I've been playing fantasy for 20 years. I will be starting my fantasy segment this summer, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but it's something that I probably should have done a long, long time ago. Fantasy football, season-long fantasy football is one of my, I guess, my hidden talents. Anyways, what up, Big John?
How's it going, Big John?
What up, bro?
Yo, dude, I'm sorry, producer sucked.
You look refreshed.
I told him, I was like, hey, I called him, I was like, hey, bro, we're trying to reach you. Yeah, bro, they text you and try to get it out.
Oh, that must be why he didn't answer my text back. He was a busy yakking.
He said he was going to be back in 30 minutes, but then he let me back in, so I thought he was at least paying attention.
No.
It's all right. He's on that. He's on that good.
But yeah, let's you're gonna sit there and before you go get, let's be intelligent here, guys. All you gotta do is get one of the 2 tackles. You don't need them both. At 50, Abraham Lucas will be there. Abraham Lucas is a badass.
Yeah, I like him.
You can grab. You don't need both. You just need one. Now, on top of that, you don't need Deebo Samuel. You can grab James Cook, who's better than Devin Cook. He does everything. He's a receiver. He's basically another version.
I like him.
He reminds me of Percy Harvin.
Yeah, I would like that.
There you go. You don't need to. You don't gotta trade nothing. Now, I would not mind a trade for DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Trade for Adam Thielen, but you don't need, to go blow a whole bunch of shit. And I have pushback. How can you sit there and say that Connor is not that much better than what we already have? He is
Connor Williams?
Than what we already have.
No, bro, because look, you got to understand his biggest problem is holding and strength. In a zone scheme, if somebody tries to cut inside him, his natural instinct is to grab him and hold on to him if they try to jump the gap.
I'm going to ask you a question because you might be in Texas, but maybe you don't know the most important part of this whole thing. Who is the offensive line coach for your Dallas Cowboys?
Not my Dallas Cowboys, but I think it.
Who is it?
Was it? No, what was his name?
I know.
Was it Marinelli? No, that's defense. No, I can't remember his name right. No. It's he used to play for him. I do know who it is. It's
No.
Anyways, it's a guy that used to play on their 1990s team.
No. The offensive line coach for their Dallas Cowboys this past season was Joe Philbin. Same fucking idiot.
That is. You're right. He came in with Mike McCarthy. The year before that was a different guy.
That we had coaching. So that explains why everybody looked worse.
Yep. No, I remember now. Yeah, I forgot that he came in with Mike McCarthy.
I mean, if that guy's your coach, you're going to go downhill.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. But at the same time, his first 2 years, because he was a tackle in college, his first 2 years, they tried him at center, then they tried him at tackle. He didn't do well in either one. And then last year was the first time they let him play a full season at one position, which was guard.
And he looked better than anybody we had at guard.
I'd say I think Robert Hunt's better than Connor. I was going to say, I think Robert Hunt's better than Connor Williams.
at guard. So,
Yeah. Well, maybe he's. We'll see. But I think Austin Jackson is. You're cutting in and out kind of bad.
Jackson
I don't know if it's just me.
Guard to save his life.
We'll see. And Isaac, I'm sorry, bro. It's not me that's saying we have news. It's a guy that we all know, but he's the one that he's kind of my eyes and ears. He's helped me out tremendously. Trey Hopkins, I don't mind that. Man, I'm just looking at it. So did you hear my theory about why I think there's a trade coming?
Yeah, I heard your theory. Everything I just told you, all these, I basically, I'm gonna send you my mock. I sent it to Mike, and Mike kind of looked over it. It was busy. I'm gonna send it to you. 29. I didn't keep the 29. I traded 29. My pick started at 50. And
I don't want the 29.
I basically grabbed. Let me tell you who I got. I have Mike's. I sent him. Right. Here was my mock draft from 2, 3, 4, 5. Like 6. I stopped after 6.
Hey, make sure your mic's plugged in. Make sure your mic's plugged in all the way. You're breaking up a little bit. Kinda.
All right, hold on. Let me try again. Let me back on and come back.
That's better.
Sounding like
well,
there's a short in the headphone wire.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a short. It sounded better just then, though.
Sounds better now?
Yeah, it sounds way better now. Just don't move.
All right. I'm not moving. I'm sitting in the same place.
Hold still.
All right. At 50, Abraham Lucas. 57, John Michie III. 89, Walker. 102, James Cook. 125, Wendell Robinson. And at 130, I was able to grab, so I have my punter anyway.
I got you. Well,
I'm guessing that last one was the punter.
I still grabbed my punter in the 5th round.
Okay.
Hell yeah. I like
what
that.
I'm saying is they were just proposed trades. But I mean, it wasn't anybody in the top 40. I'd rather take James Cook. I'd rather take James Cook over any running back draft that we have, because you have Bruiser, you have the other guy that they picked up. He can run. This guy's like Debo. James Cook, receiver, slot back, wing back. He's lined up everywhere, including tight end. Okay,
I like that.
So you don't need to go get Debo Samuel. He's a cheaper version, and he's fast as shit.
Yeah.
And if you want a fast running back, you can always grab the Cincinnati. We're talking about
Cincinnati running back. Hey, jump out and jump back in, Big John. Jump out and jump back in, Bubba. It's still breaking up.
It's been for a couple nights, Mike. I think there's a short in his headphone wire, if you ask me.
Oh, I got you.
Because it's been for a couple nights in a row. It can't be network at this point.
I got you. Olave is going to be a bust, Ali. Watson from North Dakota is going to be better. Olave is going to be a bust in the pros. Just trust me. If he's a top 10 receiver, he'll be a bust. If he's a top 15 receiver, he'll be a bust. If he's a second rounder, then maybe not. But somebody's going to make a mistake and draft him too early.
So I'm thinking, I think all these punter, these armchair kicking specialists, I think they're going to get their wish, because we still haven't signed another punter, and we don't have a punter on our roster right now. So
try now. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, you're good.
And Hecker got signed somewhere else.
Yep. So if we don't make a trade, then what else are they going to do, Big John? Why are they being so quiet, bro? Why haven't we heard a peep from the facility in a month and a half?
Because we were waiting for Deshaun Watson, and we just ended it yesterday. And we'll see what they do now. I told everybody I'm fine with Trent Brown at right tackle and grabbing a center in free agency.
Did you? Yeah, did you see there's teams out there trying to poach Robert Jones?
Yeah. But, I mean, we never said he was a bad player. We just never got to see him play because Flo's a fucking idiot.
That's fair. And Doug, I could be wrong, but I've seen some interesting inside the game film on him, and he doesn't excite me anymore. I'm talking about Chris Olave. But well, before
notice, I didn't grab Chris Olave or
Yep.
Pick of the litter. I had my pick at 29. I could have picked him. I could have picked David Bell. The receiver's gone. Of course, the one is from Alabama. The other guy, he was gone at 24. But, you know, I've done like 3 mocks. One of them bothered me. Twice Linderbaum funny. The other time, Boston College funded me at 29. And the last one I just traded out. I was like, you know what? And then at 50, there were still running backs on the board. I didn't get a running back there, as you saw. And then still, I could have gone back to back. I could have picked James Cook, and then picked Robinson from Alabama. He doesn't have that breakaway team, but I mean, he's just like Chase Edmonds.
Yeah,
the same guy.
All right.
What we need is a person on this offense.
Yeah, well, I agree. So before Percy Harvin was so much fun, but before we go, I want to remind everybody about the shows. I'm gonna let Big John give his final thoughts, and then Kohler, and then I'll close it out. But remember, on Tuesdays we have Tonk 7 with TMI Tuesdays at 9 p.m. And then on Wednesday, directly after that, it's open mic with myself, Mike on the mic. And then on Saturdays at 10 p.m., it's drop the mic with me, which is tonight, obviously. Then you can catch Kohler commentary on Thursdays, and as always, catch El Capitan and the Fins tailgate. It is the tailgate party that never stops. And check the link. We're partnered with fanatics.com right now. So you can go in there. It's the one-stop shop for all your fan gear, your apparel, your hats, your jerseys, your T-shirts, your hoodies, whatever you want. Use the link in the description, and it helps us out. But I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Appreciate the comments, man. It's been going crazy. Y'all are amazing. Thanks for the participation. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your sisters. I don't care. Just get somebody. Let's get there. I think we need like 160. But Big John, after this Deshaun Watson news is now done, you've seen what the landscape's going to look like in the AFC.
It's been done for me.
No. Hey, I know. But what I'm saying is, like, now that it's over and you see the landscape of the AFC, what does Miami need to do to get into the conversation of a possible deep run in the playoffs?
Dude, to me, all the Dolphins need is a weapon at wide receiver. And to draft, I'm telling you, James Cook is going to be the steal of this draft. Whoever drafts James Cook is going to steal the draft.
That's fair. I'll be looking for that.
If we can grab Abraham Lucas at 50, he'll be there at 50. Because I know they're not going to if they're going to trade out at 29, that's fine. I don't, unless one of these centers. One of these guards or offensive linemen fall to them, which could very well happen because there's a lot of wide receivers that are going to go. And at the end of the day, people don't really talk about David Bell. David Bell is a badass receiver, and there's a very good possibility he'll be there at 29 if you want to go offensive weapon. I would trade out at 29. If I don't have any offensive linemen that I want, I would trade out because you have running backs.
I don't want the 29th pick.
No, I'm just saying, if you're not going to trade up, you don't need to trade up to get. I just gave you 6 or 7 players that you can pick from 50 down, okay? And there's others that are they're good right there. I mean, if you can grab Lucas at 50, that's another steal. The guy's a badass. and you don't need to grab them both. I don't really want. I would love Armstead.
Yeah.
But to me, it isn't even about the money. It's about his actual desire to be here, because you already saw what you can do when you really want to go somewhere. Yeah, they gave Deshaun Watson a $200 million contract, but he knows he's going to get suspended. So what did they do? They only give him $1 million guaranteed. So they basically saved his money for next year in case he gets suspended.
Yeah.
So,
hey,
reported that last night, John. Yeah, they front load that his first year is going to be $1 million in case he gets suspended. They're doing him a solid of not only losing $1 million.
So you can do whatever you want. You know, if you want to bring players in the right, man.
Hey, Big John, Vivian.
You know what? Real quick, Mike. I actually have a theory that at the 11th hour, Cleveland got this wild idea up their ass and called him back up and was like, "Hey, how about this? We'll only give you $1 million your first year in case, so you don't have to take a hit if you get suspended." He's like, "Give me the pen." You know.
That might have very well been it.
So Vivian in the comments says we're too negative. It's like going to TD's channel. She must have missed all the spreading hope and trying to give people positivity going into the season I did earlier.
Who said that?
There's a Vivian Martin says that we're too negative, and it's like going to TD's channel. And I was like, but she just missed the beginning when I tried to spread hope and like show everybody that I'm really excited about the season. It's okay, Vivian.
No, that's a warrior. Like, don't pay no attention. That's a warrior that thinks she needs to fight.
I just got on and told you guys.
There's no fight going on, Vivian. We're not negative here. We actually like our chances.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead, Big John. What were you gonna say? And this is your final thought.
I was a negative. I just gave you 7 players you could pick.
Because I'm saying, because she's coming in guns blazing blind. She ain't actually. She's a minion. It's a minion.
It's okay. It's okay. Even if she's not, I appreciate you being here, Vivian. I appreciate you watching.
We love minions here too.
Color, what is your final thought on everything? Was I able to plant any seed of hope inside of you tonight?
Sure. I mean, like, again, I'm the one that's saying there shouldn't be much difference from last year. I mean, you know, expecting better quarterback play like I do. And I really actually, I do have and I'll probably get pushed back from Nicole on this. I know she's probably our last best detractor in the chat, but I would just say, you know, I actually am like, I don't believe I've said completely, like, I have hope, but I don't believe. But at the same time, I mean, where else is there but up? I mean, we're you know, even if we didn't change anything, and if we're all saying, okay, we're going to give Tua another year because we got to see, well, then okay, fine, then then we should expect better quarterback play. And given better quarterback play, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to top what we did last year. I'm actually quite encouraged. And now, if you're going to ask me, like, you know, 39-year-long fan color, you know, then I'm going to say that color wants a Super Bowl. So no, I'm not optimistic in that respect, but you know what I mean? Once you get to the dance, obviously anything can happen. So, you know, I think we actually are equipped to get to the dance.
Isaac, you right, bro. TD works his butt off, man. He started, like, people don't understand is real quick. I'm gonna all right, Color. I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and let you off because I got something I want to say.
Everybody have a good night.
Yeah. So I'm getting back on camera for this one, guys. So here's the deal with TD. I'm a stay-at-home dad. TD started as a stay-at-home dad. Everybody gives him a hard time about all the different channels he may have and all the different intros are the same. I get that. But at the same time, he found the fan base that started to love him and that he wanted to do it for, and he chose to do it for the Miami Dolphins. And who's to know if he's not a fan? The point being is that he stays at home, his wife works, they've got kids, and he's doing this to help support his family. And that's why he works so hard. And that's why he does what he does. And his takes, yes, they're controversial, but that's what makes him good. He wouldn't get all this hate if he wasn't good at what he's doing. He wouldn't have 20,000 subscribers if he wasn't good at what he's doing. I'm not defending the man. I'm just explaining to y'all that the way that has been said and what has been said about TD, y'all are talking about me because I'm the same damn way and I'm trying to do the same damn thing. And maybe my takes aren't as controversial, but it's the lifestyle that I'm choosing to do. And I'm choosing to take time away from my family to get on this camera and talk to y'all and try to give y'all content and try to give y'all hope and positivity. And sometimes I may be negative, but at the same time, I'm choosing to do this for y'all, just like TD's doing it. And we are in the same exact position. He started 3 or 4 years ago. I'm just now starting, but I'm in the same spot. So when y'all talk about TD, or the people out there, when they start talking about TD, because I know that the ones that come here on a regular, y'all aren't the ones doing it. But the ones that are, if you hear him talking about it, you need to explain to them that this is what he's chosen to do, to bring us content as fans. That's what it's about. And that's why we do what we do. And we love every single one of y'all. And we appreciate y'all coming here, and we appreciate y'all interacting with us. And we appreciate almost being at 1,000 subscribers. Everything's great. But I 100%, I love every one of y'all. Thanks for coming to another episode of Drop the Mic. Remember to check me out on Tuesday, open mic. And then I will be on TD's channel on Monday. Thanks, guys. Peace out, y'all.